Tony, you got contributions from a lot of different guys tonight, particularly your upperclassmen. Had you been lacking that at all, and did you need that from London, Devin, Darius, Mariel?
Those guys did a good job. It was certainly a group effort. You look, London, I thought, had a obviously nice game. We needed that. Mariel, there were some good things there. I just told the guys, play as hard as you can, as smart as you can, and as free as you can. And, we missed some free throws, had some shaky moments, couple miscommunications, but for the most part, the guys did a good job and just kept playing. Wake Forest is an improved team. They've been playing with teams, good teams, the majority of the year, the Xaviers and Florida States and Clemsons, and had chances. And I just said, you're playing, again, an ACC team. You got to keep after it, and hopefully you'll win the majority and wear them down a little bit. Whether we did or not, I'm not sure. But I thought we made enough plays and were steady enough to come away with a victory. But it was absolutely the contributions from the upperclassmen. I thought Jack gave us a nice lift, and Zay, so it's good to see.
Tony, two areas that you weren't pleased with in Pittsburgh, obviously defense and rebounding. You did a better job tonight. Did you see a dramatic improvement, step forward?
Yeah, we tried. We tried to rebound harder. We tried to get to the line. Some of that was late. They fouled us because they had to. We got to the line. But we're not we don't generate a lot of stuff, again, as we talk about, just throw it inside and draw fouls. But we were trying to drive hard. We tried to do it against Pitt. It was nice to see us get to the line. And then there were some battles for the rebounds. When we play four guards, which was good and gave us a lift at times, then you're giving up some stuff with it. I don't like to see those 13 rebounds. And it's always an interesting set, those team rebounds. Those are ones that you just can't quite come up with. But it was a step in the right direction, and a win in the ACC is a win in the ACC this year, and you take it and you move forward.
Tony, Wake came in shooting almost 40% from three tonight, 6 for 21. Were you pretty pleased with your defense?
Everybody else has been lighting us up in the ACC, so they didn't. You can see they're very capable, 1 through 4 or 5 when they put Arians with Mitiglu out there. But we tried to really, as I said to Dave in the postgame or the pregame, we worked hard in practice. We had 2 solid days of prep for this, and trying again to be there on the catch and crowd guys, but work in those areas that were important. And for the most part, they were contested. And then they hit a couple tough ones, bank shots, but that's big. The game is changing. It's hard. You see guys that can rise up the way Bacon did it to us, the way Artis did it, and more players are able to just bounce it, pull up from 24, 23 feet, and that is tough. And so you just keep working to make them contested and be good in other areas. And we got a couple little things we did that I don't need to discuss that I think helped us, and we'll keep tweaking and working on.
How worried were you about the team putting those last 2 losses behind them?
Not too worried about it. I just, every time we'd get a little lead, we'd either have a little breakdown or they'd hit a play, and then the game would tighten up. So I was concerned in those areas that we couldn't pull away when I thought we were having some nice, we'd get a little 4-point lead, 5-point lead, and then bang, a couple breakdowns. Sometimes things just happen, but I liked how they finished the game. That was important. And those are hard losses. Yeah. Good, real good. I didn't feel we prepared or practiced as well heading into Pitt for whatever reason. I just didn't feel it. But I thought we had 2 of the right kind of prep days and practices, and guys came ready. And again, they missed some open shots. That always makes a difference. And those other teams made them. But we've been in those games. It was nice to finish one.
You mentioned it a little bit, getting to the line obviously is an issue the last couple games. You went with Mariel today in the starting lineup. He leads you with 7 free throw attempts. Is his aggression kind of contagious at all? What do you like about his game? What do you give you from the start this time instead of coming off the bench?
Well, I said all year you probably could make a case for, a number of our guys being starters. I just decided to go with, I thought, our most physical lineup to start the game. And, of course, London would be at the point, but Devin and Mariel, and that's not to take anything away from Kyle's start. He had an off game at Pitt, and he's going to be a heck of a player, and he's doing things. Or Darius has done some good things. But I thought, let's just go with our most physical lineup. Of course, that's Jack, and Isaiah's hard playing, and that was the decision. And, again, we used our depth tonight, but that's what went into it, and I like the way Mariel got us started. I wish he could have finished that layup in the transition at the end, but he played hard, he played well, and he gives us a little more physicality.
On that same topic, is that something, getting to the line, something that you can coach, or is it just when you put the physical guys on the floor, you think they kind of pace the game that way?
It depends how many shot blockers the other team has. Those last few games, Pitt didn't have shot blockers, and we tried to drive hard. We had points in the paint, but some guys are just natural at drawing fouls. They can go in there and they can, get into a body. Anthony was the best I'd seen at it as a front court player, and then what we had last year with our perimeters. And Devin, those guys are trying to drive hard. Sometimes we avoid a little bit of contact on those drives, but you try to attack. You try hopefully to get in the bonus like we did, and we don't probably draw as many fouls in post-up play. That's just who we are, but that's what we'll keep trying to do when the opportunities present themselves, and get to the bonus sooner to the best of our abilities.
Tony, are you guys a much steadier offensive team when London is pretty aggressive looking for his shot? I mean, he came out tonight.
Yeah.
Seemingly focused on getting a couple shots up.
We tried to, again, make a little adjustment on some things offensively in these 2 days. That's why I was encouraged by practice and wanted to see how it played out in the game. And, I told London something yesterday before practice. I said, London, you've had 3 great years. You're in a different situation this year. You had probably different kind of pieces around you than you have, and in a strange way for your future. I said, this is really good for your game because you're going to have to learn how to be as efficient as you can. More is being called upon for you, how to be aggressive but still manage the game. And I said, that's a process, but it's good for him. It really is for his future, and all those things. So I thought today and not yesterday, the Pitt game, he had the right kind of balance and mindset, and I want him to keep obviously pushing the envelope that way without losing himself.
Tony, have you had any similar conversations with Devin? The last 4 games,
played
he's
well.
really stepped up his overall game.
He's playing hard. He's tough. He's complete. And again, I just thought, I think he's establishing himself out there. I like him on the glass. When we went 4 guards, he's battling hard, and we need what he's bringing. So couldn't be more pleased because he's a hard worker, and that's. I shared a quote with the guys before the game. There's a Jimmy Johnson quote. In order for us to be great, everyone has to just be good. And not everybody has to be great. And that's the idea. All these guys, you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be unbelievable. Just be good. And I even talked about our walk-ons and our guys preparing us in practice. But those guys, and I think what you saw tonight were, a number of guys playing solid, good basketball. And Devin's been that for us for the last games you mentioned.
Got a little bit more time to prepare for Clemson. What does this break or this period allow you to do?
Yeah, well, we got to see what happened to Isaiah. I think he just landed on Devin's foot, and I don't know if it's a hip pointer. We'll find out about that. So we got to get him healthy and just keep, trying to improve. Just keep chasing it hard, knowing we're going into a team that's real physical and real tough-minded at Clemson. And if Clemson wins the national championship, I'm sure they'll unveil their football team at our game, and so it'll be a real pleasant environment. So, but being the team we have to become and keep pushing in the areas that need. To the Pitt game, I kept saying too loose. It needs to tighten up. It wasn't perfectly tight today, but the bolt maybe turned a half a turn. So now we got to turn it a little more. And that's a process that takes a lot of work.
Was going to ask about Isaiah, but obviously you cleared that up. But his game tonight kind of did a little bit of everything. He seems like he's been doing that more. How has his game changed this year in the absence of some guys? And the numbers aren't totally different, but have you seen a change in what he's done? He's still kind of that do-everything guy.
Yeah, Zay gives you he's a great glue guy, great help defender, all heart, plays hard. He's got a lot of experience. I liked seeing him loosen on that short baseline and take some of those shots. That's important for us because, again, we don't get a lot of scoring out of our interior. So if they're just a couple rhythm shots they have to account for, that opens up the lane for some of those drives. And, again, we just did a couple things over the last couple days in practice that I thought freed some of those guys up. But that was nice to see. And, again, he brings that heart. 5 blocks, that was nice too. I thought he made a big play at the end and got called for a foul, but hard work and completeness for him, and we'll take any points we can get from our interior.